What's buck, everybody? Welcome back, Krump Nation, to the series of Who Created Krump. I am President Krump, aka Tighteyex, and this is the official real story about Who Created Krump. Episode 2, why did me and Tommy split? Why did you leave Tommy? Let's get into it.
Tada! He is not the self-proclaimed creator of Krump. He is the creator of
What is
Krump.
Krump? Kingdom radically uplifted by the praise.
Fire. Do everything with fire from right now until the last breath, because there's nothing that can stop you.
I was 11 years old when this happened to me. I did not have a dream, did not have no goal.
Who's driving the machine?
We were at the top of our clowning careers. Tommy was the cream of the crop. As I told you last episode, it was all about Tommy the Clown. If you're going to be a clown, you have to get with Tommy. Everybody's dream is to be with Tommy. I'm there. Miho is with High Class, so we're working our way up in the ranks. Little C is with Tommy on the main crew with me. I was friends with Little C. I was friends with Miho. Everything was good. But my mom really did not like Little C as much as she liked Miho. Like, she tolerated Little C, but she really didn't like Little C like that. And I thought, my mom was just being a mom, just trying to ruin my fun. That's what I thought. I'm like, I'm having the time of my life. I'm a clown. I'm popular. You're just trying to mess up all my fun. How any teenager would do. I am very young at this time, 15, 16. So it was always a little bit of friction when I wanted to go lab with Little C. My mom really didn't want me to go, so I kind of had to lie to hang out with Little C. My mom liked Miho. She had a better relationship because we stayed closer by each other. I was with Miho more frequently. And my mom was prophetic. I told you that she's the one that took me to the church where I got my first prophetic word. My mom was a church hopping rebel. She would go to the most untraditional churches and she would take me with her. My grandmother was more traditional. So I had this one side and I had this other side of what I thought Christianity was, or believing in God. So you had the grandmother, she's in the church with the Holy Ghost music, they're shouting, it's a Baptist church. And I have my mom who's like holy rolling, church hopping, looking for the fire. So I had both sides, and because of that, my mom had a lot of struggles, and she was in a lot of things in her life. God changed her life, and she started to get real prophetic. She started to tell me stuff that was going to happen in the future. And some of the people that was with me at the time, even some of the people that come against me, they have experienced my mom being prophetic in her sleep. She's on the couch sleep, giving prophetic words. So when she spoke something to me, I really took it to heart because it had weight. It used to hit me hard, even though I thought she was hating a little bit, but it used to hit me so hard. Fast forward, my mom gives me a warning. She tells me verbatim, I want you to get away from Little C. He's a snake. And she just tells me this boldly. I'm like, how can you say that? This is going to bother me. But she said it. She said what she said. And I believe she gave that word to somebody else as well. So I wasn't the only one who heard this word. So she tells me this. Fast forward a little bit of time. There's a situation. Me and Little C are in Tommy's house, and there was a situation that happened, allegedly. I don't know what really happened, but it was an underage girl and some sexual things happening. Now, once again, I saw evidences and confirmed proofs that this could have possibly happened, but I don't know. I wasn't in there. This event brought back those words that my mom said. Now, after she gave me the prophetic word, there was some time, and it was nothing happening, so I thought she was just tripping. Then this thing happens, it changes my whole life. This is just from my perspective. Like, why did I leave? Why did I do this? I cannot speak for anybody else, but this event changed my life forever. I was so shocked that night that it happened, allegedly, because you just don't know. I have my own opinions, but that's not what it's about. This thing happened, it gets back. People find out. The leaders find out. Little C gets set up. He gets beat on. Like, he gets his ass whooped. I end up being threatened, and I'm in a position, and I'm afraid. I'm only 16. I have this dude I'm trying to be friends with. My mom is telling me this prophetic word, and then this situation happened. And the type of situation it was, I just never would have thought I would be caught in a situation like this, to where I have to either tell what I think or what I believe, or I have to lie. And according to my knowledge, I was not there, so I don't know what happened 100%. So you could say I lied for him. I didn't know, but I had my thoughts about it, because you have this prophetic word. You can't ignore stuff like this. I'm like, why did this happen right after my mom said to get away from this dude? Was this what she was trying to say? Was this what she was trying to save me from? I don't know.
You have clown dancing, and then you have Krump.
But my life changed drastically. So my life of clowning, I had worked my way up. I had a position. This event happens. My life changed. I'm scared. I get threatened, and sex with an underage girl. My friend is accused of this thing. What do? I am 16 years old. Changed. He was no more. He wasn't dancing for Tommy after that. That was an incident, a huge falling out. And this is a story. He has to tell his story. I don't know what his story is, but this is what happened to me. I saw everything happen, from the fighting and the threatening. Now, our careers are done at Tommy. I didn't feel right clowning anymore. What do? My dream, it was so tainted. What I thought was a fantasy land. I was living in a fantasy world. I just wanted to have fun and dance all day at parties. But it just came down to a reality. I'm like, my mom spoke a reality to me, that you cannot hang out with everybody. I just did not believe that as a young man. And my mother she was taken advantage of. She was raped when she was younger. So I don't play around with this. This is a word that's been tossed around, and people accuse you of this, but I really don't play around with this. When my mom said that, it sent her down the path of depression. She was a black sheep. She did drugs. She did a lot of things because nobody listened to her when she said this. It was just, how could this happen? My mom was a little fast. She was a little thick for her age. And yeah, the men used to be all over her. So much so that where I would get mad. My father, whom I don't know, she used to tell me stories. He would get mad. I don't play around with it. I wanted to protect my mom from these things. So I really listened, even though me and my mom got to know each other late because of circumstances. My grandmother raised me. But when we were in the pocket, she would tell me the real. Black and white. It's either this or that. Truth. Get away from this dude. I don't like this dude. He's a snake. My mom is just talking. Situation happens. I'm scared for my life. My whole everything changed. My life changed. My world is different. Little C goes to cartoon clowns, which changes into cartoon family. After this, I am scared. I really don't know what to do. I really don't know what I did. I don't know if I did wrong by not speaking up. I don't know if I did right by saying what I said, but I was protecting my homie. I was asked, did he do it? And I said no. Even though it could have happened, allegedly it happened. What was I supposed to say? I wasn't in that room. I wasn't in the bathroom. I don't know for sure. So it was that. And Tommy took my word for it. Little C had to leave the group. And shortly after, I left. Not because I had a problem with Tommy. I have no issues with Tommy. Tommy is he was like our pops. He was looking after us every weekend. Feeding us and taking us around here. That was gas money and letting us in his house. So I have no issue with Tommy. And it was very respectable when I told him that I wanted to go. I didn't feel right clowning anymore. So this word came from my mom because she was prophetic, and she would pick up things in the spirit and tell me straight, and I would experience it. After you experience these things, like, what are you going to do? I could not be the same. After a while, Little C wasn't dancing anymore. Miho was off playing football. He was in and out. Like I told you last episode, in and out. This is what I was looking at. Okay, Miho's back. Let's get on.
What I would say to Lil C about that comment was, I don't really care who started it, but every time Lil C dances and me and Miho dances, everybody knows the truth.
He's leaving. Okay, let's get on. Everybody had their partners that they would link up with. So I found out where he was, and he was at Mama Toon's house. And I go over there, and he is in a bad place. And I was like, okay, if I battle everybody, will you dance again? Kind of, and we got back on the brotherhood. We was back bros again. Even though this horrific experience happened, this is my friend, right? So I go to my friend, and let's just start. Let's just start anew. Let's just pick up where we left off. And we started Krump there. We removed the clowns because there was a bad taste in our mouth about clowns, and we called it Cartoon Family. We start taking off clown off of everything we were a part of because we were about to come out. And this is the start of the Krump movement. Now you had people like Bugs Bunny, Daffy, Porky Pig. It was a group of cartoon characters. They were named after cartoon characters. Their names started to change. Then you have the little homies, the first little homies of the Krump movement when we had just come out of the clowning era because of this incident. This is where these things started to happen. So I left Tommy because my bro got kicked off because of something he allegedly did. After sitting with it, I did not feel good clowning without my team. We had been doing this for years. We had created a system. So I went to go help my bro get back on his feet in the dance. This is what I thought being a good friend was. As far as the girl, I can't tell her story. She has to tell her own story. This is why I left Tommy. And I didn't leave in a way like, F you, Tommy, you did me wrong. No, Tommy didn't do anything. He was doing what he had to do to protect his family. And I was doing what I had to do what I wanted to do in my life. My desire was to dance and try to change the world with it. We end up at Mama Toon's house. There you have the first Krump group. That's where it started. So I have this relationship with Little C, and it's like, I rock with you, but you do some things that I really don't like. And that was our relationship. Little C was cool to a certain point.
And this is the other 50%.
50%.
Other half of the pie I was telling you about.
Tie-dye.
This is him, man.
I see why they call him tie-dyes too. I see it.
Mr. Incredible.
Now, this is just my own personal relationship with him. And I was like, I really don't think I could be this guy's friend. But a lot of benefit of the doubt, a lot of forgiveness, right? Not saying that I did everything right as well. But after you save one of your friends' life, you would think he would have some type of honor. Time goes by, everything is good. Even though that was a horrific thing, everything is good. We're back in the runnings. I mean, even Miho has come back from football. He's getting involved in it. He's finding little homies and he's dancing. Then we have the Shake City. Little C wasn't a part of that. Then you have the actual Rise movie. I mean, go look at it. Go see who was there in the battle zone. And you could kind of tell who was around and who was active. It was only the active people, the leaders of that movement dancing. And you don't see certain people, not because they weren't tight, but because certain things were happening behind the scenes that caused this person to be unable to perform at the battle zone. So it's all these underlying things, and people don't know it. And certain people know this incident that I'm talking about. They have knowledge, and maybe they will tell you. Maybe they will tell you the truth, but it's not my job to tell their story for them. I was out of Tommy. We were into Cartoon Family. I was still Tighteyex. We're still Krumping. We're starting to outsource Krump into this, getting them out of clowning and getting them into Krump. And we were dancing all day, every day. Same type of cycle. And now it was, we're going to be Krumpers. We're going after the clown dancers. That was our first big battle. We're going to go back and we're going to win. That was our mission, our MO, which is why you have Krumpers versus clown dancers in the Rise movie, the culmination of everything. You have this battle. Why do you have this battle? Some people that were on Tommy's crew were Krumpers at the time. Hence Little Tighteyex. He was a Krumper. You see him doing the arm swing. Yeah, he was doing clowning stuff, but Krump was filling things up and it was changing things. When people ask me, why did these things happen? Why did these things happen? There's so many details, like how much time do we really have? You want me to give you a one-line answer for 10 years worth of events? I cannot do that. So I'm choosing to release these things to you as the topic comes up. After we left Tommy, we had to put on something else because the incident was so bad. It changed everything. Some of us did not want to or know how to continue until Cartoon Family was birthed. Then after that, you have the Shake City DVDs. Then you got the Krump King DVDs that are coming after that. And you saw who was on Krump Kings. You saw who started Krump Kings. Like, go back to all of these things and you start to see the Krump movement emerge with its own identity and its own way of operating. Tommy didn't kick me out. I left willingly, and Tommy let me leave willingly out of respect. Because we had a relationship, I worked my way up. He gave me opportunity. I took the opportunity. We made some great things happen. Some magical things that are written in history. He was like, I'll see you, Tighteyex, and I'll see you on the other side. So it was never a bad blood between me and Tommy. But with this guy, Little C, it was some bad blood. As we move forward, after going back and being around Little C, this is when I learned a valuable lesson. It matters who you hang around. I never caught it. When my mom was telling me, I didn't know she was telling me to get away from bad company because it's gonna affect me. I thought, well, I'm all good. I can hang around whoever and nothing's gonna penetrate me because I know what I wanna do. I know who I am, but that's just not true. That's not true. So I already had a problem with Little C because I ended up in this situation just by being around him and being his friend after my mom gave me this prophetic word. Then the Rise thing happens and he's claiming credit. Like he's the king of Krump and Miss Prissy the queen of Krump. They discussed this, but I did not like it. I told you guys last episode, but these are all the reasons why I distance myself from these people. Like this is too many times now. Too many times. We cover for you, we save your life, and you dishonor us because fame is around and money is around, you care about yourself. We were like, man, we're off you, dude. You're off. We used to get off on him for this. Like, we got to get off on you. You need to change this. So it was too many of those instances. And I had to just wake up before Rise came out. Like, I was around church, but I finally got saved. You got God talking to you in the prophetic word. You got your mom prophesying to you. You got things happening to you if you don't listen to the prophetic word. And then I get saved. So I'm really into the things of God now. I'm like, man, God was calling me. So it wasn't about people necessarily. I believe that God was calling me to get out, come here. It was being revealed to me what Krump was. So you have the Krump movement that started after the break, the catastrophic split of the clown dancers, the top clown dancers. Everybody's gone. And then we all huddle up at this Mama Toon house and we make this thing happen. Now it's happening again and somebody starts claiming credit. Now we're fighting over credit because it's fame involved, it's money involved, it's popularity involved. Like we are young. Remember, 16, 17 at the time my mom gave me the warning, I was about to turn 17. I was 16 years old. What would you do? What would you do? You cannot tell me you would do this flawlessly. I made plenty of mistakes. I wish I could take back a lot of the things that I said about a lot of the people, but you just can't. But you can get an explanation on why these things were said. Why did you leave Tommy? Why did you mess that up? Because this event, I was scared for my life. I wasn't comfortable anymore. It was over with. It was up there, it was high, and it fell down to nothing. We go back to nothing and we rebuild. Little C is back dancing again. We're back in the flow. As soon as we start to catch fire, the cameras come on and you claim, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get away. At that time, I was like, you know what? I need to listen to my mama. I need to get away. I did not want to be around the type of people that I could not trust. This is just me. I can't trust you. Every time something is happening, I don't want to be around you. This is how the Krump movement was birthed. It was birthed off of this incident. It sent us to the bottom. We literally had to build from scratch. Certain people weren't even dancing. Little C being one. He had stopped. He was depressed. We came back. I came back first. Brought Little C out of this we started to dance. Now we started to dance around the cartoon clowns, making them the cartoon family, the first Krump group. Then we started to build other Krump groups. Certain people started to leave clowning and they started to just say, this is, instead of get 'em up clowns, it's just get 'em up. Instead of cartoon clowns, it's cartoon family, hence fams. So with the family, that's when we started to create fams. And then you get this family tree, so to speak, of the big homie and the little homie, which we took from the gang culture. I'm not trying to put anything on anybody. I'm just telling you the story on why I did what I did. I was off. I just didn't want to be a part of it. And I got saved. So my life is going this way now. They're still doing whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, but I know that I got saved. I'm like, dang. I've always been around the God thing, but I never really got in like this. I thought it was fake. Like, I thought it was just religious stuff, but whoa. So you mean to tell me that God has been pulling me to this? Well, what do you want? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And that became my quest. So my life went this way and their life went that way. We can't agree. And I'm fine with that. And I have put in years of trying to agree, and it just hasn't turned out good for me. And this is when I learned about the word. If you walk with the wise, you will be wise. If you walk with liars, you're a liar. I lived through that. I was in trouble because of who I was hanging out with. And it came from a warning from my mother, who I thought was just, blabbing off at the mouth because she doesn't want me to have any fun. Today, I cherish those words. And these are words that I'm going to teach my son. Do not be around these type of things. You got to leave. You got to leave. It was nothing wrong with Tommy, but I had to get away from that group of people. It was affecting my life. This is just my perspective. This is what happened to me, why I did what I did. And all of this has to do with who created Krump. I want to show you guys a clip. This is another one of those things that I'm like, see, this is the reason why people have a problem with you. This is Little C talking about Krump as hip hop. He's saying that Krump and hip hop are the same thing. I keep telling people the reason why what they're doing is not Krump, because it is not Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise. They won't accept it. They would call it anything else besides that. This is where we disagree because our lifestyles are different, our morals are different. They cannot say it's Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise because that makes what I'm saying true. So they will call Krump hip hop, they will put Krump under the hip hop umbrella. And let me stop talking. I want you to see the clip for yourself. Take a look.
In the age-old conversation, if Krump is hip hop, is Krump hip hop? What I always tell people, because there's different versions and different layers of the Krump bubble and the Krump pie, okay? It's separated into all these pieces, with the creators. And I always tell people, it's okay for Tighteyex to say that because Tighteyex' Krump is not hip hop. It's not. My Krump is hip hop.
Thank you.
Prissy's Krump is hip hop.
Thank you.
You feel me? Yeah. Even Miho's Krump is hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Krump, when we were creating it, we didn't have Krump music yet.
Yes.
What were we dancing to?
Is it hip hop?
Came from. So when people get all selfish and this high horse and they try to separate things, like you're not an island. You're not. You're not an island. But that's where the ego comes in. And that's okay because if you want to preach and teach the egoism, that's okay. Not going to stand in the middle of that. But hip hop has always been about what? Togetherness. Yeah. And that's what we preach. That's why my Krump is definitely a part of hip hop.
Hurting it, nigga. I ain't never said I created the dance, nigga.
The style called Krump dancing. I created the style called Krump dancing. I created the style called Krump dancing. I created the style called Krump dancing.
This is somebody who has been saved over and over and over. This is how you got demoted the last time. But what I did like about this clip, you might as well say you're just a hip hop dancer. You can't stake a claim in creating Krump if you say it's hip hop. This is another reason why I'm happy I'm away from these people, because they just do weird stuff and they say weird stuff and they try to sound smart while they saying it, and they have no proof of it being true. So the next episode, we're going to get into the spiritual side of Krump, which is when Krump got its biggest growth spurt, when it grew to the masses and when it became worldwide. It was a praise movement. It was Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise. Then it shot. Rise gave it a start, but then the purpose of it, it started to be a lifestyle because we started to put God in the center of it. I told you, they did not like it. They did not want it to be Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise because they said we should not bring religion into this. I'm not a religious man. This is about real things. I experience real things, real warnings. So this is just another piece of proof. Now, this is recent. This is recent. I told you, they come out here and there and they come out with these good sounding stories. And if they have somebody to agree with them, they think they're telling the truth, but they cannot show you proof. They cannot show you proof. We fought too many wars for us to just be subdued under the umbrella of hip hop. All because you don't want it to be Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise. So in that way, it's my word versus theirs. It's my Krump versus theirs. I created Krump, and Krump is Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise. It is not hip hop. If you're a hip hop dancer who just does Krump moves, then you can be under Little C. You can be under, he said, Miho's Krump is like that. So you're no longer Krumpers. You're hip hop dancers that occasionally do Krump moves. I Krump. I Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise. I don't have to mix it with anything. It is its own thing. This is the reason why I don't want to be around these people. It's still a split. That type of split is a spiritual thing. It has something to do with what people believe. And because I believe that what my mom told me was the truth and that was God speaking through her, and I reaped the consequences of not listening, I had to change my life. I left Tommy and I left that group of people I was around. And I pushed forward with Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise. And yes, I am persecuted and fought on every hand, but that should tell you that something valuable is here. If Krump is just hip hop and you can say what you want, you can pop out. I mean, you can say what you want, you have to prove it. But what it is what it is. And I will be revealing. We're going to keep going. I like these things because this is happening in real time. So join me in the next episode where we're going to be talking about the spiritual side of Krump. While I say, let's make Krump praise again. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.